I took a year-long seminar with Professor Kim Hall from 2016 to 2017 on, I believe the title was The Worlds of Intozaki Shange and Digital Storytelling. Since I graduated in 2017, I took 2 years off to work on getting into a PhD program, and I'm currently an anthropology PhD student at NYU. And my research focuses on the Black maternal mortality crisis and its relationship to mental health during pregnancy and postpartum. And a lot of my interests around mental health and Black women actually began in the Worlds of Intozaki Shange class that I took. I was very, very fortunate that I was able to meet Intozaki Shange through the course. At the very beginning, I believe, we had a dinner where she was present, and I was able to have a private conversation with her in which she disclosed that she had the same mental health diagnosis that I do. Her work made so much sense, so much more sense when I realized that she was living with a bipolar diagnosis. When I read poems from her about like her need to dance or just like, the mood she's experiencing, the reason why suicide is present in the title of her Colored Girls, it just all made sense to me, and it kind of gave me a path forward to navigate my artistry, which included photography and poetry, and I did a project that involved poetry and images and self-portraiture because we really focused on embodiment and just different ideas like that Shange brought. It was the first time I was really able to kind of mesh my creative side while also working through my mental health issues, which also bring so much creativity and vibrancy and energy that not everybody understands. And so going through this class and knowing that I had this, ancestor who was kind of guiding me through her work and through her archives of how I could channel my energy was just such a beautiful and precious experience for me, and it's something I carry into my work as a filmmaker, as an artist, as also a researcher and a scholar in the work that I currently do now as a PhD student. Although Barnard is not a fine arts college, I had a lot of support that enabled me to kind of go out on my own and try different things. So while I was a student here, I was a Mellon Mays undergraduate fellow, which means I received grants every semester since my junior year, I believe. And so I bought my first camera with one of the grants, and I would get friends to take pictures of me or take pictures of them. And I had another friend who was really good at makeup, so she would do my makeup. And a lot of it was just really playful. I found my love for editing in iMovie, and that's where I was able to just kind of cut things together, but it was all very playful. But when I started the class, The Worlds of Intozaki Shange, I was seeing that the things that I was playing around with and doing intuitively were there's actually words for them, or, there's a tradition of image making and self-portraiture and, self-expression that I hadn't learned formally in school, but I was discovering on my own because I had these resources and I had professors who, encouraged this kind of creative work, like, Professor Hall. She allowed me to do poetry and create photography. This class was different, first of all, because it was a year long and it wasn't just one semester, so I really got to kind of commune with Shange's texts. And then I think in the second semester, it was kind of like a take it outdoors sort of experience. So we went to the Schomburg, where we got to look in the library and the archives at other Black feminists, scholars, writers, artists. We got to go outside of, these gates. And then there was an event at the Studio Museum in Harlem. So we were really seeing Shange's impact outside of, Barnard into the larger kind of Harlem area and New York City area, which is something that I don't think any other class has really done in letting us explore in that way. And then I think I was an Africana Studies major, so I was blessed to have like Black women as my professors, and that was just the norm, and it was fabulous. Being an Africana Studies class, the majority of the students taking the class were also Black women, which was also very empowering. And, we could talk about really intimate things, such as like our hair or, beauty standards, different things like that I don't think I had the space to talk about in the same way. in other classrooms. So it felt like a family. It felt very intimate and very sacred as well. Yeah, I've just never been in a class where the person in focus is with us in spirit and physically. Africana Studies was a safe haven for me to learn. And then to see Shange's blackness be so queer and just different, and like that's how I express my blackness, that's how my blackness operates. So yeah, I just, Barnard in general changed my life. But